It's time for Hard Justice with Judge Tooey.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Jim Tooey's court is now in session.
Brothers George and Dominic Zander are at odds. George, the plaintiff, is suing the defendant Dominic over a pickup line he said his brother stole and used to pick up a Russian stripper that he had already spent $12 for primer drinks on. He is suing for $12, the sole use of the pickup line, and a pair of socks.
You plaintiff, what have you got to say?
Well, Judge, my brother is a hack who's been stealing my line since we were kids. You know what I'm saying, Judge? You know what I mean? Like when we were 4, he used my line, "Mommy, you have the prettiest eyes." You know what I'm saying, Judge? You know what I mean? And Mommy gave him the last ho-ho. I had no ho-ho that night. And now 20 years later, I still get no ho-ho. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I hear you talking, but what do you mean? You know what I mean? So what are you saying? You, brother, what's your sob story?
Look, my brother can't close any deal, Judge, all right? You know what I'm saying? Look, when we were 8, we had this hot little 7-year-old live next door, right? We got her with that line, your dress opens like a parachute. So we get her up in the tree, right? We're ready to jump, and he ruins it by telling her it's not true. All right? Look, the guy's not a closer. All right, so the line's worthless to him. Me, I'm a closer. It works for me. That line is worth something to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean.
In my time as judge, as well as my time as part of the swill of this human race, I have seen countless injustices. I have seen countless disregards for humanity. I have seen the abyss that is the cruelty of the human soul that act out the fires of hell. But one thing I have learned, that it is family that bonds this ball of dirt that we all float in. I understand it all. But there is one thing I can't understand. What do you mean? You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying.
I mean, my brother he has no conscience. He nails this Russian stripper as a direct effect of using my line and my $12 worth of primer drinks. He used my friggin' line. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
All as I know is I want to hear this magical line that swoos the Russian strippers to the back seat.
Well, the line is, I think the Kremlin's a beautiful piece of architecture, and Stalin was a homo.
Will you repeat that line again?
I think the Kremlin's a beautiful piece of architecture, and Stalin is a homo.
Did you use this line on a Russian stripper? I think the Kremlin is a beautiful piece of architecture, and that Stalin was a homo? And as a direct effect of that line, you have relations with this said person.
Sort of, Judge. You know what I'm saying.
I don't know what you're saying. Tell me what you're saying. Sort of, Judge?
I said it with an English accent. You know what I'm saying?
What do I have to say in order for you to understand? I don't know what you're saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Chicks dig English accents, Judge, all right? It wasn't the line that got me relationships with the girl, it was the accent. Okay, if you don't believe me, she's right here. Hey, Olga, come here. Tell the judge.
Did the line, the Kremlin is a beautiful piece of architecture, and Stalin was a homo, cause you to have relations with this man? Huh? Did you?
The line was very enticing line, and it was an eye-opening line. But it was the English accent that caused me to have relations with this man, and also the bulge in his pants.
And what about the $12 worth of drinks?
The $12 worth of drinks, that helped a little with my inhibitions, but it was the English accent. Once I heard it, I decided to bang him.
All right, that's it. I've had enough. Get out of here.
I see you later.
I have come to a conclusion. Compromise in society is a contributing factor to the success of people. And I find it personally disheartening for two brothers to be at odds over a piece of ass. That is not this court's concern. I find it was the English accent that whet the appetite of the Russian stripper, not the line. The Kremlin was a beautiful piece of architecture, and Stalin was a homo. As for the $12 worth of booze, I do believe it did lighten the opening of the door to relations. I ordered the defendant to pay $6 cost of half the booze. I order him to find his own lines. As for the matter of the socks, I will throw that matter out and only make a statement. Socks make the world go round. Use them well and don't abuse them. This court is adjourned.
And so goes another episode of Hard Justice with Judge Tooey.
Hey girl, my old man jumped in the ocean and got stung by a jellyfish.
That's terrible. Did you take him to see the lifeguard?
Nah, I left him there crying. I took myself to see the lifeguard.
Hey!
Hey, what's up? It's Don and Jim from Meet the Creeps.
And you're watching Detention Lounge. And good luck, Baco. You got your tooth fixed finally, and hopefully the show will be a success.
Later,
Then you can get
bitches.
the other teeth
Sorry.
fixed.